Welcome to the 2023 Asian Pacific African Combined Championships in Hong Kong, China. My name is Chrissy Chamley. I'm announcing this session for you, which is the under 66 kilogram classic powerlifting men. The first flight we have are the sub-juniors Masters 1 and Masters 2 lifters. The bar is loaded for the second lifter to come out now. Rodrigo from Sri Lanka with 100 kilos for his opening squat. He is a sub-junior, 1 of 4. And he's on the board. The main goal of the first squat is for the lifter to get on that platform and get the feel for the competition and get that first lift, most importantly. And get their nerves under control by getting familiar with the scene. And that's why you will see those openers can be very comfortable indeed. Ho from Hong Kong, China. Masters 2. And another very easy opener just to ensure that they are on the board. Lifters have 3 attempts at each of the disciplines: squat, bench press and deadlift. So it is quite achievable to use that first attempt in each of the disciplines to get on the board and get comfortable. Tursunbayev of Kazakhstan, 145 kilos for his opener. He is also a sub-junior, age 18. So quite a significant jump up now in the weights on the bar. Great depth, very smooth and easy. So there's the competency under that weight, that is just his last warm-up or, a very confident opener. And the final sub-junior now has elected for 155 kilos for his opener. And this is Castro from Singapore. Singapore have brought a very large team here to Hong Kong, China. This is a championship that includes the classic and equipped formats of our lifting. It also includes the full powerlifting and the bench press only formats. So it is a fully combined championship in every sense of the word. Wade Castro, Singapore. Oh, he just rocked back on the heels, but he was fine. He stuck it. And 3 white lights. Might have been a little bit of nerves there as we watch the replay. And that weight's very light for him. So that will feel a lot better for him once he gets a bit of weight on there and he can get his balance right again. Here's Tin from Hong Kong, China. 175 for his opener. He is a Masters 1. Recalling Masters 1 are aged between 40 and 50. He is 41. Great depth, Good work up. You see that that opener is just a little bit heavier for him, but at his level of experience in powerlifting, he is definitely prepared to open a lot heavier, as he knows himself and has that lifting maturity. Bayara of Mongolia now, 177.5. I believe this is our first Mongolian at this championship. We lifted yesterday. That was the first day. So we welcome Mongolia very much here. There's been a few guys around. So there's some very big guys who will be lifting later in the week. First, Bayara, the Masters 177.5. Good sit. Just stalled a little bit at the bottom, but no problem. He's got so much strength. He can stand up with that. Again, looked a bit awkward just in the hole there, but perhaps when that weight goes up a bit more and once he finds his groove, he'll smooth that out. And our top opener in this session is Lee from Hong Kong, China, opening on 200 kilos. Lee is also a Masters 1. So we have 3 Masters 1 competing in the under 66 kilo men. Bayara and Tin may very well battle it out, but Lee may stretch ahead uncatchable if he gets this. Finds depth beautifully, works it up. I think that was a really fantastic opener. Combination of plenty of strength, but high enough to assert his dominance in his group. Just looking at the replay. Yeah, he was prepared to put a bit heavier number on there, and now he's 25 kilos ahead on the squat now. So we go straight into the second round now of the squats. This is she from Hong Kong, one of the sub-juniors. Opened on 90 kilos. Now 100 kilos for his second attempt. He's only 16. He's cut that short. And it's a no lift. He's coached by Josephine Ip, Dr. Ip, who is the event organiser here. She is an IPF executive and IPF Hall of Famer, an Asian Powerlifting Federation executive, very highly well-regarded official, referee, organiser and athlete. 120 kilos now for the only Masters 2 in this flight. This is Hu from Hong Kong, China. Taking 10 kilos more. Narrow stance. Very strong. Let's see if that was depth from the point of view of the referees. No lift. Two against. So it did look a little higher than his opener. I could only see this his left-hand side, and that certainly was not depth. Adesha Rodrigo of Sri Lanka, 120 kilos for his second attempt. He is going 20 kilos heavier, so that was a very light opener for him, the 100. Big air. Oh, great depth. Oh, my goodness. What a wonderful lift. And being platform coached by Ransilu, he is an athlete. He's here to compete, but he seems to be coaching everyone. Kazakhstan lifter in the sub-junior group, has called for 157.5 kilos for his second attempt. That is a 12.5 kilo increase from his opener. See, his hand position's really narrow. It's just beyond his shoulder width. Very tight up through the upper back there. Maintaining massive tension and good commitment there. That looked so good. And it was 3 white lights.
165.
Wade Castro from Singapore, now 165 kilos for his second attempt. And this is to take him from currently in second position into first place. He just knows. Castro to take the lead. Excellent. Wow, that was great work. You see how he opened the knees out to get his hips through in the hole. So deep. That's insane. Hintat Tin from Hong Kong, China, 180 kilos. He's the Masters 1. Currently sitting in third place in that group. This to get him up into second place momentarily. Great depth, come on. Bit of encouragement from the back spotter there, which makes all the difference sometimes. The spotter loader crew this morning, another 3-man crew from South Africa. We had one team yesterday all day. Now this team here, different team, all from South Africa. IPF Technical Committee Chairperson Hani Smith bringing over his spotter loader team from South Africa. Bayara of Mongolia, 187.5 kilos to push back up into second place in the Masters 1. Looks even better than his opener. Just waiting on lights from the referees. Oh, no lift. We'll have a look at the depth from this side. Okay. So, interesting. That pushes him back down into the third place with a little bit of work to do now. But absolutely ahead of the pack is Lee from Hong Kong, China, with a 10 kilo increase from his opener. 210 kilos. He will be untouchable from here, having basically won the gold in the squat from his opener. Just superior strength here. And training age that allows him to commit. Unfortunately, both side refs said no lift depth issue. I thought he cut that short to where he has been squatting in the last 2 lifts. You'll just see this on the replay. You watch that hip doesn't actually get lower than the knee. Jury overruled. Okay. The jury had a look at that and felt that he did. So he got that lift. He stands on 210 kilos at the end of the second lift. She from Hong Kong, China. You recall he struggled with 100 in terms of getting depth. All the way. There it is. And that's what coach asked him to do, and he's come out and done that. Fantastic. And he finishes his third round, with his 100 kilos. Congratulations to him. Good lifting. Our only Masters 2 lifter missed 120. He's going for 125. This could be a personal best. No, it isn't. I just had a look. It has some meaning for him. 125. Depth is what it's about. He's definitely strong enough. And it's a good lift. Third squat attempt now for Rodrigo of Sri Lanka. 135 kilos. It's one of 4 sub-juniors. He will finish with the bronze medal in the squat. Oh, that was smooth. Yes, 3 white lights for his final squat. "18-year-old Kazakhstan lifter Tursunbayev, 167.5 kilos for his third attempt. Very pumped for this. Got his feet right. This is his big lift. Oh, wow, big depth, but just slung down a little fast perhaps and lost the tightness. Came up and had nothing to stand up with. Castro, Singapore, electing for 172.5 kilo for his third attempt on the squat. With that miss from the Kazakhstan, he's got the gold already. So this is for valuable points in the total. 172.5 kilos. He is the gold medalist in the sub-juniors in the squat on 165. Let's see how he can handle 172.5. Get up, get up. Oh, wow. What a grind. Oh, my goodness. 3 white lights. That was magnificent. Brilliant. He gets the weight right back on the heels. And he just sticks it through that middle spot there. Activates everything. That was great. Okay, Tin for his final squat, 185, just a 5 kilo increase from the second attempt. We noticed that he was starting to reach the limit on his second attempt. So this is a great selection. Just to have a look. There's a good depth, but he's still there. Okay. No, just couldn't get out of that hole. So he's on 180 from his second attempt, and Bayara missed his second attempt. So Tin and Bayara now. This is to sort out the medals between these two guys. Currently, Tin is in the silver medal position, but with a good lift here, Bayara will get the silver, pushing Tin back to bronze. Bayara for the silver medal. 190 kilos. And the silver medal for Mongolia. Great hit. Oh, he works it. Yes, he's got it. He knew he had it halfway up. Oh, he got it. Got pinged for depth. And his coach says, no, you weren't quite low enough. He actually is signalling how much he wasn't low enough. Jury's having a good look at the replay. Jury have not overturned it yet. They're giving the signal that it could go either way, and I think they're going to let it stand. Yes, we've moved on. Okay, so the leader of the Masters 1, without doubt, is this man, Lee, from Hong Kong, China, 212.5 kilos. He opened high on 200 and led from that moment. Untouchable. In this group. Just 12.5 kilos more than he opened on. Oh, that was very borderline depth and altogether a bit heavy today to go any further. He's very grateful to those spotters for their verbal encouragement, but also the sense of safety they give to the lifters. Lifters can absolutely feel and tell if they are in good hands and that they're safe to really go for it. And some of you may be familiar with these South African spotter loader teams. They have been around the world and flown to various events, mostly world events, a lot of world championships held in South Africa, but also outside of South Africa, most recently in 2019 in Hong Kong here. This team came over for the spotter loader at that event as well. Second flight now of lifters is the Open and Juniors in the under 66 kilo class, and Sato from Japan, 140, opens us up in the juniors. Good lift of 160. A good lift for 140 kilos for Sato. So you'll notice on the scorecard that we continue with the juniors group. It's the A group here that are lifting bigger weights. So that I wasn't aware when I was calling the first flight that there were more juniors to come. So I beg your pardon for calling the medals early. We have indeed we have 3 more juniors in this flight. And Ahmed from Iraq is the first one of those lifters, 162.5 kilos for his opening attempt. Very comfortable. Okay. Right. There are 2 Iraqis here in this flight. One is the junior and one is the open age category. Here we have the junior now, Ayman Kafiji, 162.5 for his opener. And that's 3 white lights. Now the bar moves to 165 kilos. 165 kilos now for Tharan Kanda from Australia. Just getting around his spotter loaders. Because in this moment on that platform, they're his team. Tharan from Australia, 165. Trains at Strength Club. There it is. Oh, very good. Magnificent, 3 white lights. It felt good. Few Aussies in the crowd here. Part of a small but very welcome Australian team. $170 kilos for the opener for Li from China. Big welcome to China as a nation here in this Asian, Pacific and African Combined Championships. Li is an open age lifter. Fantastic. Wonderful display of strength and technique there.
175. Huge slip. 175 for huge slip.
We have Leung from Hong Kong, China now, 175 kilos. We're into the top 3 open lifters. Leung will be followed by Fu and Ong from Singapore, both from Singapore. So these are the guys we watch intently in this flight from the medal point of view. Leung, Hong Kong. Oh, easy it is. He says easy, and it is. Fantastic lift. First we'll go with a junior, Lee from Hong Kong, 190 kilos. $190 top opener in the juniors. 190. So incredibly strong. And 3 white lights. Back into the open age category. This is Fu from Singapore. 200 kilos. Strong. The question will be depth. And it's a good lift. Final opener from Singapore, Ong, 215 kilos. Incredible depth and so much speed coming up that bar just bounces on the top of his shoulders. Let's watch this replay. Catapults himself up, the upper body, and look at the bounce on that bar. Big round of applause from the crowd for Saito from Japan. 150 for his second squat. Oh, wow. After what looks like a tentative start, he just takes off. And good lift. You just notice his hips break first and there's this pause. And he just hits it and bounces straight back out and up. Second attempt for Al-Maslawi of Iraq. $10 kilos more than his opener. Pushes the hips back very tight through the body and nails that. Yes, indeed, mashallah. The junior lifter from Iraq, Kafaji, 172.5 for his second attempt. Yalla Aman. Just 19 years of age. Strength training most of his life, but the hips come up too early and the hips and the shoulders need to move as one. The hips come up, you flatten out like a table, and it's a good morning where you're trying to pull yourself up with this weight getting lower relative to the hips. Here's Tharan Kanda from Australia, 28 years of age, clinical psychologist and very nice guy. So happy to see him here at this international. Loves his lifting. Very supportive teammate, was here all day yesterday supporting. $175, great hit. Oh, yes, indeed. Good job, TK. And Coach Mina enjoyed that too. We'll hear from him in, come and co-commentate with me later today. Here's Lee from China. $180 for his second attempt. $10 kilo increase. Such an upright body posture. Great looking lift. And waits for the lights, 3 white lights. There's an example of how different the lifters' posture and width of their feet and their hands, how they maneuver to get down into a deep squat, just differs so much from individual to individual according to so many factors about our body and how we are put together, and our strengths and our weaknesses, our joints, relative lengths of various bones in the body. Here's Leung, Hong Kong, China, 185, 10 kilo increase. The opener was magnificent. Sits that right down. Yes, it is. It's getting a little harder, but it looked good. And it is. 3 white lights. They are fantastic attempts, these, for Lee. Kim Hee William Lee from Hong Kong, China. 200 kilos. He's having a discussion about rack height, asking the spotters to drop it down, I think 2 places, but that may not have been on his card. It wasn't. So he doesn't, yes it was, so he gets a restart on the clock. Not a problem. So easily resolved. Lee, 200 for his second attempt. Ah, smashes it. Interesting, he looks up very rapidly during the ascent and pulls himself up with that. He's got the good lift. Last 2 second attempts now, both from Singapore. Here's Wesley Fu, Singapore, taking 212.5 kilos. He's the current national champion in the 66 kilo class, of course. Just check on the depth. Both side refs said no lift. So that means he maintains 200 kilos. I believe he's safe in the silver medal, regardless of that miss. But it puts a bit of pressure on him. Now, if he had an opening with Ong, but Ong may very well be out of reach of Fu. $227.5 kilos for his second attempt. Sitting in first place from his opener. Superb hit, and halfway up he knows he's got it. He's got one spot he's got to work through, and these lifters are absolutely loving these spotters, especially the back spotter, who is Hani's son. Saito, Japan, 162.5 kilos, 12.5 kilo increase from his second attempt. With a good lift here, he will get ahead of the Iraqi, Kafiji, who missed his second attempt. So this to push up momentarily into second place. Replace the bar. Restart the clock has been the command. There was no fault on the lifter there. There was an instruction from the jury to replace and restart. but it was nothing to do with the lifter. Fantastic. Yes. Magnificent. And that gets him into the silver medal position at the moment. With Kafiji now to come out and try and get it back. So Yalla Kafiji, 172.5 kilos for the silver medal. Otherwise it's bronze. Yalla Ayman. It's a good hit. He gets up with a big smile. What do the referees say? Yes, it is. Silver medal for Ayman. Mashallah. We're into the third round of squats now for these juniors and open age lifters. TK from Australia comes out with 180 for his final attempt. Weighed in quite light this morning, 65.28. Oh, there it is. Yes, he does it. Just looks so good. The moment he hits depth, you just have this feeling he's got it. If he can get that spot, he's away. Everything moves as one. Sits right in there. And super strength coming up all the way as one. 180 also for Ahmed from Iraq. Ahmed a little heavier than Kanda. See how he handles 180. Gets down in there. Can he pull the chest up? Gives it everything. Very good fight. 2 against. And he accepts that no problem. Good fight. Lee from China, 187.5 kilos. This could be a bronze medal for Lee, depending on how Leung from Hong Kong, China goes. Okay, news in that Al Maslawi's no lift has been overruled. He gets the 180. He remains in 6th position with Kanda in 5th because on body weight. But good news for him, he got his 180. Here's Lee. 187.5, just going to pip Leung from Hong Kong for the bronze medal if he gets this and if Leung misses his next lift. So a lot can happen. First, he gets this. Yes, he does. Really great to see his weight. He doesn't shoot forward in the knees, which can happen. And he gets 3 white lights, so he's opened the door for himself for a bronze medal. It's up to Leung now from Hong Kong, China to fight back and get his bronze medal. So here's Leung He opened on 175. Final attempt 190 for the bronze medal. This is for his medal. He knows he has to absolutely hit this. Oh, he comes up. Yes, it's easy. Was it deep enough? No, it wasn't. 3 red. And he misses the bronze medal. Lee from China will take the bronze medal. Leong very disappointed with himself there. Meanwhile, in the juniors, 210 kilos for the final lift for Lee from Hong Kong. 10 kilos more than his second attempt. Just incredibly superior strength here. A lot of work has gone into this strength and this technique, and to be in good shape for this event. Good sit. There's the eyes that bring him up. Hips came through well. It was right at the limit. And it's a good lift. 3 white lights and the gold medal. He is the champion of this event in the 66 kilo juniors. Last 2 open age category lifters for this squat session. This is Fu from Singapore. Missed 112.5 kilos on his second attempt. Coming out again for it. But Ong untouchable to follow. He is in silver position. He has been from the start. And he will remain with the silver medal in the squat. But he's got work to do to get this 212.5. Oh, yes. It was a much better looking lift. Let's have a look. Yes, it is. 3 white lights. Good stuff. He came out and got it. Now the final squat of this session. It's 235 kilos for Ong from Singapore. Wee Chai. Great. Oh, can the hips come up? Oh, it was a great fight. A really good fight. Took a bit out of him. We're going to have a break now for 10 minutes and we'll be back with the bench press. See you then. Welcome back to the bench press session of the under 66 kilo class guys in the classic powerlifting. This is she from Hong Kong, China, opening on just 55 kilos, getting on the board. Wonderful experience for young lifters and also great opportunity for young and new lifters to get international experience and the very high level of judging that happens at this level of competition. Here's Ho from Hong Kong, China, the Masters 2 lifter, opening on 90 kilos. Tin from Hong Kong, China, now 100 kilos for his opening bench. In this flight we have Masters 1, Masters 2 and Sub-Juniors. And then we'll have a second flight of bench pressing with the juniors and the open age lifters. Tin successful on 100 kilos. Tursunbayev of Kazakhstan, 105 kilos. He's a sub-junior as well. So him and Castro from Singapore will battle it out for the gold and silver medals in the sub-junior category. Tursunbayev opening on 105. Castro will open on 110. And that's a great lift. Really good setup here. You can see on the replay. Look at the arch that he is able to achieve. Gets a high touch, but elbows are able to get deep enough for our regulations. So he is really maximising his leverages and the mechanics within the rules. No problem. Castro, Singapore. He won the squat round. Just giving his preferences to the spotters for his lift out. Some lifters are very particular about how and when they want the bar lifted out in relation to their setup procedure. Some will unrack it themselves. Some will just take however they get given the bar. 110. Interesting, he lifts his head when he benches. As it comes down, the refs didn't see it. Just from my particular spot, I can see things. No, we can't see from that angle. That's okay. In the Masters 1, got 3 guys. And Lee from Hong Kong, China will take his opener of 120 kilos now, with Bayara of Mongolia to follow as the top opener. Mongolia has that really strong tradition of benching. So here is Lee, to be followed by Bayara, who, as a Masters 1, will open on 125. Oh, yes. That's how you want an opener to look. Smooth, very solid, a lot of experience with that weight. Yeah, I think he did just grab his hamstring. It's a little tight. He's recruiting the whole body to bench that, so his hamstrings were quite tight in the process. And when you jump up, you can feel that. So here's our top opener in this flight, 125 kilos for Bayara of Mongolia. He got bronze in the squat, and he could definitely make a charge for the gold medal in the bench. Like I was saying, we've got quite a few Mongolians that I'm seeing around the arena. I imagine we'll be lifting later. $125. Probably a little harder than you might expect, but there's a lot of experience there in his benching, so he can open quite heavy. Look at that great ankle position relative to the knee and the hip, getting maximum tightness through that area and the stability that then can give the bench. Yu from Hong Kong, China, 16-year-old student who's being coached by Dr. Josephine Ip. Obviously a starting lifter. It's great experience for him to test himself. Oh, wonderful. I like his technique, the way his descent happens. And almost half tucks. He doesn't fully flare the elbows out, so they're coming in closer to the body, but not too much. He's found just the right spot. Wei Lok Ho, Hong Kong. He's a Masters 2 lifter. 100 kilos for his second attempt. Good drive back. He just had a look at the weights that were loaded. I think that felt a lot heavier than he expected. Just looking at his foot position. What's happening there with his feet? I can't sort of discern where his ankles, his heels look completely up. I'll need to have a look at that more carefully when he's on the platform. One of the Masters won now. He will get the bronze medal, as the other two guys are well ahead. 102.5 kilos, tin. Bit of encouragement from the spotters went a long way, I'd say. And it's a good lift. Looks pretty happy with himself. Tursunbayev of Kazakhstan, 112.5. 7.5 kilo increase on the opener. Really high touch. And it's a good lift.
117.5 for Castro, Singapore.
Really hard to see the elbow and shoulder positions from that particular angle. So that's the probably interesting point for the lifters with a very high arch, is we're looking to see how they can achieve a high touch like that and keep their elbow level or beneath the shoulder. Sub-junior Castro, 17 years of age, 117.5 kilos for his second attempt. Tursunbay of the Kazakhstan has put in 120 for his final attempt. So Castro needs to get this on the board to stay in the fight. Yeah, his head lifts, but it's not hugely obvious.
152.5.
So I'm sure coach will put in 122.5 for his third attempt or more. Perhaps just enough to get the gold medal. I'll see that in a second. Yes, it is 122.5. But back into the Masters group. Here is Lee from Hong Kong, China. 122.5 for his second attempt. Certainly is a thing that the older we get, the more we may potentially bench. Oh, come on. Again, bit of encouragement directly in his ear from the spotters, and he looks up at them and thanks them. Can make an enormous difference. It's the immediacy of that instruction or encouragement. The lifter is in their own world in that moment, but to have that voice so close to them really has an incredible effect on their will to keep going and the sense that they're in it together. There is some sort of almost activation of a bit of a, you know, we're all working on this, we're close and we're not alone, and we give it a bit more. So Bayara of Mongolia, 135 to try and secure the gold on the second attempt. Oh no, that bar dipped down. The ref let him fight on, but you'll see he gets to that sticking point and the bar drops down. Now let's have a look at the weight differences in those guys, because Lee from Hong Kong has put in 125 for his third attempt, and Bayara is lighter in body weight. So Bayara already has 125. So Bayara is secure in the gold, regardless if Lee gets the 125 on his third attempt. And therefore Bayara can attempt that 135 again, but honestly it looks doubtful. Shi from Hong Kong, China, 70 kilos for his final bench press, and that's a good lift for his bench.
105 for
Ho, Masters 2, missed 100, has elected to put 105 on his third attempt. Driving it back. The right arm comes up, left follows. That's not a problem as long as the whole bar didn't dip down.
No lift.
No lift. We may see it on the
Single
replay.
5 for tilting catching. Bar is low.
It may have happened there towards the top of the lift. It's just hard to... Oh, his butt's lifted. No, his butt's lifted clear off the bench. Okay. 10. 105 for his final bench. He got the 102.5. No. It is really amazing how that bar can completely stall and we cannot push it any higher, but it doesn't just fall. We're pushing as much as it's matching the fatigue that it's falling. Tursunbayev now, 120 for his final bench press. Momentarily getting into the gold medal position with Castro to follow. Castro's lighter. Tursunbayev. Good fight. And it's a good lift, 2 to 1. He seems pleased. Now Castro is lighter in body weight. Had he elected for 120 and got that, he would win the gold. So curiously, they put 122.5, which is more than he needed. So they've added an element of risk, but it wasn't necessary if we're talking gold medal. He may have another goal. He may want the 122.5 for another reason. I don't know. But the medals are a lot of what athletes are vying for. So the pressure is on him now to go from silver to gold, but what I'm saying is there's a little bit more pressure than there perhaps needed to be. $122.5. Great set. Good touch. Oh, he's under it. Oh, yes, he has got that. And it was a good lift. He says shush to the crowd. As he's the gold medalist in the bronze, in the bench. Back with the Masters 1. 125 kilos for Lee's final bench press. He's heavier than the Mongolian, Bayara. So this will not challenge for the gold. This is his final attempt and he's in silver medal position and he will remain with the silver medal. As on body weight, Bayara, as it turned out, won the gold on the first lift. No. Okay, no problem though. Silver medal in the bag.
135. Bayara Udon.
Odin Bayara, Mongolia, 43 years of age. Will be the gold medalist in this bench, regardless of this result. He got the bronze in the squat. He needs some kilos for his total though. So this would help. Tucks that chin in dramatically. Great touch. Oh, he's got this if he keeps going through with it. Find it. Yes, I think he did. Woo! Magnificent. Great appreciation from the crowd. That was a hell of a fight. Oh, look at the tension through the body. He lifts that to there and he has to absolutely stick with it, not panic, just let it come through. We're in the second flight of bench press now in these under 66 kilo guys, the juniors and the open age category. First up, Rodrigo from Sri Lanka, 70 kilos. That's a good lift. Next junior is Sato from Japan, 90 kilos. Sato got the bronze in the squat. He's not assured of a medal in the bench, but he certainly will be in a great position if he gets this one. A little bit of a hesitation on the way down there. I'm not sure what that was, but very powerful up. No problem. So 90 kilos, and the way that looked, he's on track for a medal. Lee from Hong Kong, 100 kilos. Also a junior. He was our big gold medalist leader in the squat. And the spotters are saying, yet again, their rack height is wrong. Now, there are different brands of racks out in the warm-up, and I would say Lee's training on one that hasn't got the same numbering system. So he's nominated a number, but it's not the same as this Hansu. 100 kilo, great touch. That's every day, any day. He can lift that. So just on that point, we have Hansu rack on the platform at this championship. Asian, actually a Chinese brand. So here's Ayman Kafiji of Iraq, 102.5 kilos. He is the top opener in the junior group. Great touch, yes. Very strong. And 3 white for Ayman. In the open age category, we have 105 kilos for Lee from China. Wonderful to have Chinese athletes here at this championship. They're relatively new in the IPF, in the powerlifting and bench press scene. Have been around in the blind powerlifting for a while. 105, great looking bench. And it's a good lift for Lee. We just had a World Championship, the Classic Powerlifting in Malta, just before this championship, and there were a few Chinese lifters there. And there was quite a few more Chinese lifters nominated for this championship, but they were late withdrawals, and I'll talk about that in a minute. We see Wesley Fu of Singapore opening on 112.5. He has won the Asian Pacific in 2018 and 2019. So very experienced at the international scene and this particular type of championship. And that's a very competent opener.
150 for
So TK Tharan Kanda from Australia, up now for his opening bench of 115 kilos. And big shout out to Monica and Nareen and Georgia. And everyone he trains with at Strength Club. Fantastic lifting community. Here he is at the international event in Hong Kong, China. Great touch, very competent opener. That's the one. Yep, good stuff.
Single 150 kg. Loading for Al-Maslawi and Adabila.
Ahmed Al-Mazawi, Iraq, 115 kilos for his opening bench. Him and Kanda ended up on the same squat, 180, and now opening on the same bench, so very well matched. Oh, I think he took off before the call. Okay, he got the lift. I thought he took off and then bounced with the call. We won't see it from this angle. You do see the chest bounce there a little. It's all a matter of angles of what you see. Of the centre ref and one of the side refs and myself, we are in a perfect triangle. So I'm seeing things right in between an angle that they are both seeing. So that accounts for the differences in how I see the lifting. Leung from Hong Kong, China, 120 for his opener. Yes, very solid. Looks fantastic.
122.5.
With Ong to follow from Singapore, 122.5. So Singapore look to be the dominant top two in the bench press here, with Australia and Iraq going to battle it out. Great reach. A lot of work there. Good lift. So that looks very strong. I would put money on Ong.
Rodrigo Adesa of Sri Lanka.
But we'll see how the second attempt cards come in. There we go. So Ong will take 130. Leung from Hong Kong will take 127.5. So we will watch with anticipation how that works out. In the juniors here, Rodrigo is starting the second round of bench presses with 85 kilos. Oh, he's struggling. I think he's stuck. Fortunately, he has got his opener on the board to fall back on. But long arms and not much height through his chest. If he can get his hands all the way to maximum width, that would be something. I don't think he's at that yet. So difficult indeed. Saito, Japan, 97.5. Yes, he is safe on the bronze medal, just looking at Rodrigo's third attempt that he put in. So Saito getting the bronze in the squat and will get the bronze in the bench. He's a really powerful presser. Very powerful. And he's feeling good. I can tell from his body language, he's super confident the way he jumped off the bench then. Yalla Ayman, Iraq, 107.5. This will push him up into the gold medal position temporarily. Oh, there he goes. Yes. 3 white lights. So he hits the front. With Lee from Hong Kong, China now trying to assert himself back into the lead. There has every time he has come to the bar, they have had to adjust the rack height for him in the squats and the bench. It's just not going to get resolved on paper for some reason. Every time they tell his coaches to change it on the attempt card because he's chewing up his own time. Fortunately, he's got a snappy setup so he can get the start call with 20 seconds to go. Oh, Lee. Yes, indeed. I think it's a good lift. And it's 110 on the board to push back at Kafiji. Kafiji is the lighter lifter, so the pressure is on Lee to defend his gold medal position. Second lift for Lee from China. $110 kilos in the open age category. Smooth. Oh, there it goes. That's great. Yes, it's a good lift.
124. Candor,
As I may have mentioned, there was many more Chinese lifters nominated for this event, young lifters, sub-juniors and juniors. And at the last possible moment that they could withdraw without penalty, they withdrew. And I'll come with that reason very shortly. Here's TK, 120 kilos for his second attempt, just 5 kilos more. He's having that bit of a tussle with the Iraqi. Iraqi has put on 122.5 for his second attempt. He has to try and push ahead of TK. TK 120, this could be a very strategic number that he's chosen. Oh, it's solid. Look at how smooth. The stability is remarkable. Good lift. And this gives us a wave and a smile. I'm thinking it's strategic because he's got the 120, and if Al Masawi actually struggles with the 122.5, Kanda can really safely jostle up a position. It's not always about fighting the numbers head to head in every lift. Here's Fu from Singapore, 120 kilos for his second attempt. And he is also heavier than Kanda. Yes. Looks good. He gets the lift. So the body weight's going to play a part as well in this bench press result. Al Maslawi of Iraq, 122.5. A good lift here, obviously, puts him up ahead of Kanda. A miss here, and Kanda's got an easy platform above him. Yalla. Ahmed. Oh, it's solid. It's a good looking lift. Yep.
157.5 for long slip of Hong Kong.
Here is Leung from Hong Kong, 127.5 kilos. Pushing up into the lead with a successful lift here. With Ung to come. Great touch. Oh, there's a little double movement there. Let's see. No lift.
130 for on way side of the Singapore.
Yep, you saw it there. Yep. I'm sure he can't believe he did that. Ong, 130, really looks set to dominate this group of open lifters. Opened on 122.5. Let's see. It's a good lift. So the standings there, Ong is pretty much untouchable in the open class. The Iraqi is going to make a challenge on the silver medal. A lot of strategy here. Just can't see Leung's third attempt, which is odd. It should be in by now. But we start with the third round of bench presses, and Rodrigo goes for the 85 again, and it's no lift. Sato 102.5 for his final bench. Safe in bronze, can't challenge for the silver. I just thought he was tempted to put the feet on the bench then. Used to be able to do that, but you cannot anymore. He does this pause halfway down. It's curious. It's a great lift. It was more pronounced in the second lift, but you'll see it again here in the... he stops. It's interesting. I wonder what that's about. Kafiji, Iraq, 110 kilos. Comes charging out for this lift. He's lighter than Lee from Hong Kong, so he is in a great position. If he gets this, he gets ahead of Lee momentarily. So here's the window of opportunity for Ayman. Yalla, Ayman. Yalla, let's go, come on, bring that arm. He battled through that, I think he's got it. Yes, wonderful, and he hits the lead. Lee with the smallest increment now to try and get the gold medal. At the moment, Iraq is in the gold medal position with Lee getting the rack adjusted again. This won't happen in the deadlift. Lee, 112.5 for the gold medal. Confident. Oh, it was a longer pause, but he gets stuck. I think he's done. He's done. He's back to silver, and Kafiji will get the gold in the bench press. Lee from China, the open age category lifter for his third attempt. 117.5. Sadly, many of his countrymen and women from China withdrew their nomination for this event due to the horrific online trolling that happened to them. Ollie just gets stuck there. No chance, but he finishes on 110 kilos for his bench. And
125 corner.
I think he's pleased he had a look at that weight. Yes, very sadly, the Chinese lifters in Malta, one in particular, got such an absolute roasting online, terrible undeserved criticism, that a whole lot of the juniors couldn't cope with that possibility happening again and withdrew from the competition. Here is TK from Australia, 125 kilos for his final bench press. He has pushed the other guys to put on more to get ahead of him. So again, I feel strategy. Farron, get it. Yes, he has. Yes, he did. Is this strategy going to pay off? Has he pushed these other guys too far and they miss their lifts? He could do a Bradbury here. If you're Australian, you know what I'm saying. So TK's on 125. Fu is heavier. He's taking 125, so he can't get ahead of TK on this. Fu could get a bronze in the bronze medal position. So he's given him a chance at himself a chance at a bronze medal with that good lift. With Kanda from Australia still sitting in the silver medal position. Now the first contender to Kanda is Leung. A good lift here and he will get into the silver medal position. Fighting for the silver. $127.5 for the silver medal. Leung gets right under it. I think he's going to drive this home. Yes, he did indeed. He corrected the error and he's jumped up into the silver medal position. With Kanda pushed back now into the bronze medal. Al-Maslawi of Iraq pushing to get that bronze medal off Kanda. But he's heavier. Oh, it's 127.5. Okay, so a successful lift here will give him the bronze medal and Kanda will drop out of the medals. Yallah Ahmed. It was a fast descent, but he's well and truly got that. I'd say he's got the bronze medal there. Yes, he has. So the medals, the minor medals, have been decided. Leung of Hong Kong, China will get the silver. Al-Maslawi gets the bronze, but of course Ong on his second lift got the gold as it turned out, and here's 132.5 just for him and his total. He was the gold medalist in the squat and is the gold medalist in the bench. Great touch. Oh yes, come on. Oh, I'm thinking that felt glorious. Come on, lights. Yes. And fist bumps with the spotter loaders as we see the end of the bench press session there. Hope you enjoyed those battles. They were great from our point of view, and we'll give you 10 minutes break and then we'll be back with the deadlift session. We do hope you'll join us then. Welcome back to the deadlift session of the under 66 kilo class men. First lifting session flight, we have sub-juniors, Masters 1 and Masters 2 lifters, with she from Hong Kong, China, coming out to lift 100 kilos, and it's a good lift. Hong Kong, China, their powerlifting federation does a lot of work with youngsters who don't have opportunity to train and get into sport. They offer free coaching and a lot of opportunities for them to lift and be part of sport for their well-being, which is a wonderful program in their nation. Ho from Hong Kong, China, 110 kilos for his opener. And the Hong Kong Weightlifting and Powerlifting Federation has this, a lot of volunteers who help with that program for underprivileged or disadvantaged youth. And the volunteers provide their service to those youngsters as well. Now, Tursunbayev of Kazakhstan, 170 for his opening attempt. Looks very relaxed about that. I'm sure it's a good lift. Bar goes to 180 for Tin from Hong Kong, China. He's one of the Masters 1. May just be off the pace for the higher medals. Having got the silver in the squat and bronze in the bench press. 180 kilos, and it's a good lift for Tin. Odon Bayara of Mongolia, 210 kilos for his first attempt deadlift. Him and Lee from Hong Kong, China will push each other, I'm sure, in this deadlift competition. That looks like a good lift. Yes, it is. 3 white lights.
Good lift. 250 for Lee Yinghan, Hong Kong.
215 for Lee from Hong Kong, China. He won the squat. He got silver in the bench. And he is in a battle with Bayara for the total. Patiently waits for that down command, and it's 3 white lights. So at the moment, Bayara and Lee are absolutely neck and neck for the total. So body weight will come into this, with Bayara being lighter in body weight, so currently sitting in the lead in the total. Now into the sub-juniors, 220 kilos opener for Castro from Singapore. This is an enormous opener, particularly in comparison to the other sub-juniors. It's far ahead of them. A narrow sumo. Hands are on the inside. He's got his feet splayed out. Hips are up. It was slow to get this lift, but good lift. Fantastic technique. set up there. She from Hong Kong takes us into the second round of deadlifts, 120 kilos for his second attempt. Good job. Yes, 3 white lights.
140 for whole weight lift, Hong Kong.
Ho from Hong Kong, China, Masters 2 lifter, stacks on 30 kilos more for his second attempt, so extremely light opener that was.
Bar is loaded.
Looking to go over 350 for his total. Great. Manages to keep the knees locked and all. So very solid looking deadlift at 30 kilos heavier. Tursunbay of Kazakhstan, 180 kilos now.
Bar is loaded.
He's not going to catch Castro in the total, I don't think. That was a magnificent looking lift. 3 white lights. Castro's got this enormously much bigger deadlift. So it has really piled on 40 and more kilos. Here's Tin from Hong Kong, China, 192.5 kilos for his second attempt. Great. He's bronzed. No, he got the silver in the squat and got the bronze in the bench press, and he will almost certainly get the bronze in the deadlift and the bronze in total.
Bar is loaded.
Lee, Hong Kong, China, 220 kilos, just 5 kilos more than his opener. Bayara to follow has whacked on another 15 on top. So this will sort out the deadlift battle between these two guys. $220, very achievable.
It's a good lift.
First, we've got the sub-junior Castro at 232.5.
The Castro weight of Singapore. Bar is loaded.
This pushes his total way up. He got ahead on the opening deadlift. Got this routine that chews up a bit of time, but he will make a start with 10 seconds or so. It's a fantastic lockout. Really impressive.
235.
So he will be our total gold medalist.
The bar is loaded.
Jury coming over to have a little bit of a word. It's not a problem, it's just a bit of advice, I think. Okay, Bayara, 235 kilos. Put on 25 kilos from his opener. Oh my gosh, yeah, all right. Conventional pull, 3 white lights, and that pushes him
140.
well into the gold medal position in the deadlift as he tries to make up some ground with Hong Kong, China's Lee on the total. We're with Shi, the sub-junior, for his final deadlift of 140 kilos, which was 20 kilos again.
Who will look Hong Kong selector? Bars below the 150. Bars loaded.
Who, Masters 2 lifter, adds 10 kilos for his final deadlift. He's now attempting 150 kilos. And that would give him a total of 365. Wow. Impressive. And he gets 3 white lights for a wonderful day of lifting. And there it is.
190.
Tursunbayev, 190 kilos for his final deadlift. It's a 10 kilo increase on the second attempt.
Bars loaded.
He will be our silver medalist in the deadlift.
200. Machine in tax.
Tin from Hong Kong, 200 kilos for his final deadlift. He'll be third in the deadlift and third in the total. Not able to crack the 500 just yet in total. We'll finish somewhere around 482.5. Oh, slow to move, but he keeps going. He keeps going. He's patient. Oh, what a magnificent lift. And a big round of applause as appreciation from the crowd. And 3 white lights. We appreciate the effort there to just stick there with that lift to pull the absolute most he could. So slow off the ground, holds it together, gets here, gets stuck again, has to pull the hips through without panicking, keep a grip on it. The shoulders come back and he's really strong actually at the top of the lift there. Lee, Hong Kong, China, 227.5 kilos for his final deadlift. Oh, yes, he comes through with the lockout. And it's a good lift. And he finishes on 560 kilos in the total, being a fraction heavier than the Mongolian. he may get pushed into the silver medal on body weight. We've got Castro from Singapore, 238. It's obviously a record. And so we should see an Asian record attempt here by Castro from Singapore. $66 sub-junior, 238 for an Asian record. This is what he's come for. Let's go, Wade. Wade Castro breaks it. He hangs with it. He comes through. Crowd loves it. What do the referees say? Yes, indeed. And there's a new Asian record.
247.5.
247.5 now for Bayara from Mongolia. This is a fantastic battle between him and Lee from Hong Kong, China, especially for the total. With a good lift here, he will get the gold medal in total. And obviously the gold medal in the deadlift. Oh, here we go. He's just... Oh! Great effort. He finishes with the silver medal in the total and the gold medal in the deadlift. We're into the second flight of the under 66 kilo guys, the open age group and the junior age group. Start us off, we've got Rodrigo from Sri Lanka, 145 kilos. Coming in at fourth position. Yes, that's a good looking opener.
180.
Al-Maslawi of Iraq, 180 kilos for his opening deadlift, one of 6 in the open age category. Yallah Ahmed, yes, he's got his total, and that's one of the goals, is to get your total. So with a successful deadlift there, he's totaled at this international championship. Lee from China, 182.5 kilos for his opening deadlift. Oh, yes. Smooth, heavy, but smooth. 190 kilos now for Leung from Hong Kong. Easy opener for Leung.
Good lift. 195 for Seito Yoshiaki, Japan.
Sato of Japan now to come out and take his first deadlift. And that's a good lift. He's on the board. Kafiji on the board with 200 kilos. Top opener in the juniors, 210 for Lee from Hong Kong. Lee won the squat, got silver in the bench on body weight. Hunting for the total gold. Yes, and that good lift there gives him a total, which really will be very hard to be beaten. Kafiji from Iraq being the closest competitor. But by the look of how that 210 came up, I think he's the winner. Here's TK in the open age category, 225 for his first deadlift. This will get him on the board for a total of 530 with 2 lifts to come. Great hip position. Look at that strength there. Yes, very confident opener. And that's him with 530. 2 lifts to come. Fu Singapore, 230 for his first deadlift. It's a good lift. On 265, top opener in this 66 kilo class group. That good lift gets him a total of 625. 165 from Rodrigo. Most certainly, I think he will be the gold medal winner in the total. We see the guys now come in for their second attempt deadlifts. 20 kilos extra goes on the bar for Rodrigo of Sri Lanka. Certainly this helps his total to 370, but off the pace for a medal in the total and the deadlift. $190 for Lee from China. Very deep bow to the referee. Set. Oh, no, just a bit much. Sure, you give that another try. Al Maslawi of Iraq, the neat 200. And he's got the 200. 205 on the bar for Sato from Japan. Cruising through the competition in third. Third overall. A good lift here momentarily puts him into the silver medal position in the deadlift. But we've still got a bit of lifting to come. And there he's done his job. 210 for Leung from Hong Kong, China. Three white lights. $2.15. We can hear Iraq coming. Kafiji pushing up into the gold medal position in the deadlift with a good lift here. Yeah. He enjoyed that immensely. $220 for second attempt for Lee from Hong Kong, China. This pushes himself back into the gold medal position in the deadlift. He is in the gold medal position in the total. That was extremely heavy. He looks a little troubled. I think it'd be fair to say there's not a lot more left in there. So Kafiji may well push him beyond his comfort zone in that final deadlift. Here comes TK. Final lift. No, sorry, his second lift. At his first international here. He's lifted really well. Enjoyed his day, I'm sure. Oh, yes. Yep. Good looking second lift. He's at 540 for his total. 247.5 for Fu from Singapore. The silver medal position in the total. Oh, he got the shakes. He came through that. He's got a very strong lockout. Good lift. And Ong from Singapore to complete the second round of deadlifts for us. Currently sitting on 625 total. He will be the open under 66 kilogram champion here, as well as the gold medalist in the deadlift, gold in the bench, and gold in the squat. Wee Chai Ong. Oh, there it is. He pulls that back. Yes. Okay, the final deadlifts of the under 66 kilogram guys. Rodrigo from Sri Lanka has put in 170 for his final deadlift. Looking to finish with a 375 kilo total. He's been in fourth place all day. Getting a lot of support in the crowd from his countrymen. And some other nations. Here he goes. He's going to pull this through. What a great fight. Yes. And that's his day done. Good job. 190 again for Lee from China. Missed this on the second attempt. Looked doubtful that he will crack this. Probably looks like finishing on a 480 total. Oh, no, definitely not there today. Very deep bow and a smile A huge appreciation from the crowd, and we're just so thankful to have China here at these events. And on behalf of the APF and the IPF, I do sincerely wish the Chinese lifters a speedy comeback onto the platform. Those who were put off by the harassment they experienced online from people from other federations, not our federation. As we see, Al Masawi unfortunately hasn't got the 210 in the tank today. As I was saying, Chinese lifters were subject to some dreadful harassment online from other federations, members of other federations, which so humiliated and so affected their confidence that they withdrew from the next competition. And this is absolutely not in the spirit of sport anywhere in the world, and it's a tragedy. So Sato from Japan, 215 kilos for his final deadlift. He'll finish with the bronze medal. And that's a fantastic pull for his final deadlift. Yes. Yalla Oman, Iraqi, 225, no, not there today. He'll finish with a total of 497.5 and the silver medal in the total. The bronze in the deadlift, but that massive silver medal in the total, I'm sure, will compensate for that miss there. As Lee from Hong Kong, China comes out, the absolute commanding leader of this group of juniors, for his final deadlift of 227.5 kilos, looking for a total of 547.5 kilos. Gold in the squat. Silver in the bench. Gold in the deadlift, and that wasn't there, but he is the champion of this combined championship in the under 66 juniors. Wow, Leung from Hong Kong, China is so pumped up for this lift. 227.5 kilos. Looking for that 540 kilo total. Push that floor away and keep going. There it is. Yes. Job done. Yes. 237.5 kilos for Canada, Australia.
237.5 for
This pushes him up into the bronze medal in the deadlift and the bronze medal in the total. Leung did as much as he can. But 237.5 for Canada. And he takes home the bronze. He takes home the bronze in the total. It's a huge lift for him. TK focuses. Yes, he's away. He's coming through. He's got that for sure. Oh, yes. And showing great respect there to the referees and the jury as well. And the spotter loaders. Loving his lifting. Maybe a bit of thanks to the crowd. Maybe a bit of thanks to Chrissy later on. I just mean, I mean anything by that. 255 for Fu from Singapore now. Silver medalist already in the deadlift and silver medalist in the total. No. Oop. And he shows thanks and appreciation to the referees. Always a wonderful gesture that lifters are aware that a lot of people are here for his benefit. And the final lift belongs to Ung of Singapore. A huge 282.5 kilos for his final deadlift and a massive 642.5 kilo total. If he gets this, rolls that bar right out to the edge of the front. And in the last lift, the bar just got a little bit in front of him, but he managed to pull it back. So let's check this out. There it is. And that's the spot where he struggles. Just couldn't pull that one through, but he is the champion in the under 66 kilogram class in the open age category. We will have the medal ceremony coming up very shortly. So we do hope you'll enjoy that and join us for that. Thank you.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes, mate.
Three more lifters to come. Three more lifters in this group to come. Tatiana Romnova, Secretary General of the Asian Powerlifting Federation. Pokim Bone, Vice President of the Asian Powerlifting Federation. Requesting guest of honors to present the competitors' participant minutes to all the competitors. Ladies and gentlemen, we start with the 66 kg category open. The Scott bronze medal goes to Li Hai Kwan of China. Li Hai Kwan of China, bronze medal. Silver medal goes to Fu Wesley of Singapore. The gold medal goes to Ong Wei Chai of Singapore. Bench press. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bench press. Bronze medal goes to Al Maslawi Ahmed of Iraq. Silver medal goes to Liu Slick of Hong Kong, China. Gold medal goes to Ong Wei Chai of Singapore. Deadlift. Bronze medal goes to Kander Narendra Nareen of Australia. Silver medal goes to Fu Wesley of Singapore. Gold medal goes to Ong Wei Chai of Singapore. Thank you. And the total bronze medal goes to Kander Narendra Nareen of Australia. Silver medal winner is Fu Wesley of Singapore. And gold medal goes to Ong Wei Chai of Singapore. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Singapore. (66 kg category sub-juniors). Bronze medal goes to, in Scott bench press and total, Shi Yu Zhu of Hong Kong. Silver medal goes to Tursunbayeva Rozmakkoza of Kazakhstan. And the champion in this category is Castro Wade of Singapore. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Singapore. (66 kg category juniors in Scott. Bronze medal goes to Seito Yoshiaki of Japan. Scott bronze medal. Silver medal goes to Faji Ayman of Iraq. And the gold medal goes to Lee Kim Hei William of Hong Kong, China. Thank you. Bench press, bronze medal goes to Saito Yoshiaki of Japan. Silver medal goes to Lee Kim Hei William of Hong Kong, China. The winner of the gold medal is Faji Ayman of Iraq. Thank you. Deadlift. Bronze medal winner is Faji Ayman of Iraq. Silver medal goes to Saito Yoshiaki of Japan. Gold medal goes to Lee Kim Hei William of Hong Kong, China. Thank you. The total bronze medal winner is Saito Yoshiaki, Japan. Silver medal goes to Faji Ayman of Iraq. The champion in this category is Lee Kim Hei William of Hong Kong, China. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Hong Kong, China. Moving on to the 66 kg category, Masters 1 in Scott. Bronze medal goes to Bayara Odon of Mongolia. Bronze medal in Scott. Silver medal goes to Tin Hin Tat of Hong Kong, China. And gold medal goes to Li Ying Hang of Hong Kong, China. Thank you. Bench press. Bronze medal goes to Tin Hin Tat of Hong Kong, China. Silver medal goes to Li Ying Hang of Hong Kong, China. Gold medal goes to Bayara Odon of Mongolia. Thank you. Total bronze medal goes to Tin Hin Tat of Hong Kong, China. Tin Hin Tat of Hong Kong, China. Silver medal, Lee Ying Han, Hong Kong, China. Gold medal goes to Bayara Odon of Mongolia. Thank you, gentlemen. Total, bronze medal goes to Tin Hin Tat of Hong Kong, China. Silver medal goes to Bayara Odon of Mongolia. And the champion in this category is Lee Ying Han of Hong Kong, China. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Hong Kong, China. Masters 2, 66 kg category. In Scott, bench press, deadlift and total, the champion is Ho Wei Lok of Hong Kong, China. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Hong Kong, China. Technical controller, please lead all the competitors off the stage. Music, please.